Hello and welcome back once again to the Wrestling Rant. It's time for the SmackDown spoilers. Entering a new month, August 1st, 2014, from Corpus Christi, Texas. That'll be this Friday. The show starts with a peculiar thing. Jack Swagger defeats Cesaro with the Patriot Lock. The reason why this is peculiar because wasn't it just a couple of months ago when Cesaro split off from Swagger and Zeb Coulter, the Real Americans, and he was supposed to turn face, and instead the complete opposite has happened. Cesaro has stayed heel, and now Swagger's the fucking face. Yes, so the burial of Cesaro continues. Still don't know whose bowl of cereal this guy pissed in. Anyways, after the match, Rusev and Lana come out. And, of course, Lana does all the talking because Rusev can't talk for shit. Lana cuts a promo, and I guess the gist of it was she was challenging Swagger and Zeb Coulter to a match at SummerSlam. Now, before I should clarify that it's not going to be Rusev and Lana versus Swagger and Zeb Coulter. No, that's not going to be what it is. Of course, it's just Rusev and Swagger in a match. And apparently, this wasn't in the notes, but I read another thing. Again, the notes came from NoDQ.com, as always. I saw another thing on there that said that this match is a flag match. And as you'll remember, I've brought this up a couple of times, them making this a flag match, since both of these motherfuckers keep bringing flags out to the ring with them. Yeah. But yeah, this is supposed to be a flag match. So I guess that's what Lana said. She was challenging them to a flag match. Zeb responds, and the challenge is accepted. So this match is going to happen at SummerSlam. And apparently, the reason why it's going to be a flag match is so Swagger can win, and Rusev doesn't have to be pinned. Because as you may know, the object of a flag match is not to actually win the match with a pinfall or a submission. It's to actually bring your flag down. It's basically like a flag on a pole match, you know, the Russo special. There's actually two poles, one in opposite corners, I guess. One flag is in one corner, of course, and the other flag is in the other corner. And the person who brings down their flag first is the winner. So, yes, they're going to do this so Rusev doesn't have to be pinned, and so Swagger can win. So Swagger will, I guess, win the feud and move on to go back into obscurity, I would guess. And Rusev will probably continue being fed jobbers until his inevitable burial at the hands of John Cena, which I'm sure will happen eventually. Who cares? Moving on. Up next, Randy Orton comes out and cuts a promo on Roman Reigns, challenging him to a match at SummerSlam. And that's all we get there. It didn't say anything about Reigns coming out and accepting. I'm gonna guess they're gonna save that for Raw. Who knows? Who cares? Moving on. The next thing we get is the announcement that we're going to get a handicap match later on. And that's going to be Kane and Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. So, of course, we can't just get Rollins versus Ambrose. No, that's going to be saved for the pay-per-view. Probably. Nothing's been announced yet, but we'll see. Up next after that, R-Truth defeats Bo Dallas again, this time by disqualification, When Bo refuses to break by a 5 count, it didn't say what the hell he was doing. Probably choking him in the corner or stomping him or something. I don't give a shit. Who cares? After the match, Bo beats Truth down, and then he cuts a promo. Who cares? Up next, we get a Diva squash match, which is somewhat rare. AJ squashes Rosa Mendez, beats her by submission, I'm going to guess with the Black Widow. Afterwards, Paige attacks AJ at the top of the ramp and lays her out. And then officials check on AJ as Paige skips away. So, yeah. After that, we get the handicap match between Kane, Rollins, and Ambrose. Kane and Rollins win by disqualification when Ambrose hits Kane with a chair. And of course, like the punk bitch that he is, Rollins runs away as Ambrose hits Kane a few more times with the chair. So, Ambrose remains looking strong, I guess. Whatever. After that, I'm going to guess this is a backstage spot. AJ, we see AJ being taken away on a stretcher with a neck brace on. So, yeah. Up next after that, Diego defeats Fandango again in basically an exact repeat from Raw. It didn't say what he used to beat Fandango, but it came after a distraction from Summer and Layla, who were of course at ringside. So the feud, I guess, between Summer and Layla versus Fandango is still going on. I'm wondering when Fandango is just going to stop giving a shit about these two whores who are bothering him. I swear, this should be the catalyst for him to just stop the whole Fandango act and just, you know what? I'm not Fandango anymore. I don't give a crap about these two little bitches buzzing around my head. I don't care anymore. I'm not Fandango anymore. I'm Johnny Curtis, motherfuckers. I'm gonna go back to wearing my leather jacket and my jeans backstage and nothing else. Being the badass motherfucker who's, you know, not this dancing tool. I just don't understand why they gave him this gimmick. What was wrong with the gimmick he had before? He should just be like, you know, I don't care about these bitches anymore. Whatever. I'm not doing this dancing shtick anymore. I'm just gonna go back to being me. Anyways, moving on. After that, we get the... No, never mind. Alberto Del Rio defeats Dolph Ziggler with the Cross Arm Breaker. After The Miz, who was on commentary during the match, he distracts Ziggler from the commentary table. What they said was he stood up on the commentary table and just started shouting insults at Ziggler, I guess. He might have been on microphone, I don't know. But apparently that was enough to distract Ziggler, who is a collegiate wrestler, by the way. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. You're going to distract a guy who used to wrestle in college, which is like they teach them to focus and not be distracted by other shit. Oh, right. So Miz is insulting Ziggler, and Ziggler went after him. Miz runs away, and Del Rio was able to capitalize on the distraction, and he locks Ziggler in the cross arm breaker and manages to get the win. Which is funny because, again, Ziggler has escaped from the cross arm breaker before, You know, when he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Del Rio after WrestleMania last year. Granted, Del Rio's ankle was hurt, and that's how Ziggler was able to escape, but I'm sure an agile guy like Ziggler could just kind of roll out of it and, you know, counter out of the move. You know, again, this guy has an amateur wrestling background. I'm sure he could counter out of this move. Anyways, moving on. After that, we get the main event, which is Chris Jericho defeating Eric Rowan with the Codebreaker. And Luke Harper had been ejected by the referee. And due to the special stipulation behind this match, Eric Rowan is now banned from ringside at SummerSlam, the match Jericho versus Bray. Apparently that was the stipulation for this match. If Rowan lost, he was banned from ringside at SummerSlam. And that leads me to believe that they're going to do the same thing with Luke Harper, and he will end up banned. Which is dumb. I don't know why they're going with this gimmick, because Harper and Rowan both got ejected from ringside during the match at Battleground. And Jericho still won. So what's the point of having them banned from ringside? What's the point? Oh right, there is no point. Just like there's no point in trying to build up Bray Wyatt anymore. He got buried by Cena, and people don't give a shit about him anymore. Yeah, they still hold up their fucking cell phones with their lights on them during his entrance. They do that just to be trendy. I don't think they give a fuck about him anymore. Who gives a shit? Anyways, after the match, Bray attacks Jericho, but the notes said that may have been part of the dark main event match, but they're not sure. Either way, that's the end of the spoilers, and the only other note that I have is Ricardo Rodriguez, who you'll remember I've noted several times has been on the Spanish announce team at pay-per-views. He was released. And apparently the situation there was he asked for his release because he wanted to go back to wrestling, and they wouldn't let him. So he said, okay, I want my release. I'm going to go somewhere where they will let me wrestle. Probably down in Mexico, AAA or CMLL or something like that. I don't know. So yes, Ricardo Rodriguez has been released. He won't be on Spanish announce team anymore. Not that it matters. That's it for the SmackDown spoilers. Once again, this will be August 1st, 2014, from Corpus Christi, Texas. Thank you for watching. Join us next time for Raw. And we will see you then for that, so please stay tuned.